Hi there, my name is Dan Cousins, and our group My CRM Manager is attending the Summit convention representing two distinct development partners. The first being Greatrix, and specifically Greatrix's integration between Sage CRM and Sage 100. By Sage 100, we mean the US ERP version of Sage 100. It's fantastic. So if you're a North American company looking for an accounting system or using Sage 100, you'll definitely want to see that. The second development partner is S5 Maps and their Google Maps solution, which will clearly become the default mapping system for Sage CRM projects around the world. While I am going to be providing an overview clearly today, be aware that both of these solutions are well represented on the mycrmmanager.com website. So if I went to Key Features Sage 100, you'll find everything you want to know about the Greatrix Sage 100 integration, videos, pricing, FAQs. If you want to schedule a private or personalized demonstration, just use the Schedule a Call button. And likewise, if I go to Key Features Google Maps, you'll see similar information about the Google Maps integration, including videos, pricing, you name it. Okay, I'm going to start with the Greatrix Sage 100 integration. If you're unfamiliar with Greatrix, they have been in business for the past 20 years, and they started with Sage CRM. So pioneers with Sage CRM. They have an excellent reputation, and they create the default integration between Sage CRM and several other Sage accounting programs, including X3 and Intact. Very service-oriented group. If I look at this screen, I know it's a little busy. They refer to their integrations as GUMUs, Greatrix Universal Migration Utility. It sits on the server and it allows the CRM people to have a very CRM-esque experience, but integrates with the accounting system. And from this slide, you'll note that they do also have very popular integrations with Dynamics and Salesforce.com, but today we'll just focus on Sage 100. As far as Greatrix and My CRM Manager, we're their agents here in North America, and we provide localized sales and implementation support when required. If you had any questions or wanted to schedule a demonstration, just let us know. We're very supportive of other Sage CRM partners. We want everybody to understand the magic and power of this system. I've just brought up my system here. If I look at a company record, first thing you'll see, of course, is this glamorous looking dashboard or report. It's just one report. You can see how fast and dynamic they are. You can pick from different reports, and you'll see several integrated fields right here. When was the last order? What's our year to date? That type of thing. But there's a lot more going on. If I go up here and click on View ERP Data, I'll see a collection of different tabs. Keep in mind that the CRM user is not consuming a dedicated Sage 100 license. If I go into any of these tabs, and they're all different, but I can filter through my information. I can use any of these filters. I can change the sort order. I can actually go in and view an invoice or an order to see the line item history. If I go back, one of my favorite functions is this year to date, where I can see what the company is buying this year versus last year, and I can quickly resort the columns or search for a particular product family. Notice how fast and responsive this is. You can do other things like look up inventory. And when my inventory comes up, of course, I can filter for it. If I click on an individual item, I'll see a history of that item, the invoices it's appeared on, the orders, and of course, what customers have purchased it. But the big thing with the Sage 100 integration published by Greatrix is the ability to create orders leveraging Sage CRM's internal ordering system. All I have to do is press new quote or new order. It's a very powerful feature to be able to bring up your Sage CRM instance and create orders that flow into accounting. We have a quick line entry screen so you can quickly get your information in here. And of course, you can clone, do the regular stuff you can do within Sage CRM. It's pretty awesome. And you can email that out. So I can be a remote user. I can be walking down the street on with my laptop. Doesn't matter. And off I go. And then if I have rights to, you'll see that I can promote this into the Sage 100 sales order module. If you're familiar with the Outlook integration called Accelerator, that's the advanced Outlook integration, the Greatrix integration works well with this too. So web-based, fully bi-directional customer and vendor integration. You can view orders, invoices, buying patterns, credit history, look up inventory. The big thing again is that you can create orders through the Sage CRM interface that pass right over to the Sage 100 sales order module, and it supports multiple Sage 100 databases. Most companies don't have Sage CRM, but they're very big on putting all their order processing people inside of Sage 100. If I were to compare the cost of doing this through Greatrix's system versus just Sage 100, it's massively less expensive to do it through Sage CRM, but also you get CRM, right? I used to be focused on the key differences between the Greatrix version of the Sage 100 and Sage's integration. Less so now because there's really less of a comparison. You've either seen the Greatrix integration and understand why it's so different, or you haven't given it enough attention yet. Okay, next I'm going to get into S5 Maps and their Google Maps integration. This is a phenomenal system. I'll just show you a couple slides and then I'll jump right into it. It does exactly what you would expect, but it offers a bunch of features that you wouldn't have anticipated, including how easy it is to pull data from Google Maps directly into Sage CRM. As far as S5 Maps and My CRM Manager, we're one of their distributors. S5 Maps does not sell directly to end-using companies. They work through a network of distributors, and we're one of those. So if you had any questions or wanted to schedule a demo for yourself or your group, just ask and we'd be glad to help. Okay, I brought up my test environment, and you will see at the company level we have these geocoding fields. That's how it happens. The system is installed, any of your pre-existing data is geocoded, but then moving forward, any net new companies will automatically get geocoded. To launch a map, I normally do it from the context of a company. I'll just click on S5 Maps, and up will come my map. If you saw it, it was a hopping pin. That was the center point of my map design right. Currently, I've got it set at 50-mile radius, but you can change that, and of course, you can change it to kilometers as well. Different colored pins denote different relationship types. And you can change the colors, change your relationship types, it's fine. So companies, customers, vendors, suppliers, leads, you name it. I can click on any one of the pins and see a summary of that record. The information that presents here can be changed. I could create an appointment, I could grab directions, or if I click on the title here, CRM will refresh in the background to that company, so I can easily add information. Let's go back to our map. If I want to, I can recenter my map at any time by hitting the bullseye. I could do it right here, or I could just randomly go into my map, right click, and say, make that the center point. And you'll see my map has refreshed, making that the center point. I could also jump to a different city. So if I wanted to go over to London, I could. And if I'll have to make this the center point. It's now looking for any CRM data around London. So it's brought up several leads around the London area. I don't actually have a lot of data in London, so let's go back to New York. Okay, we're back in New York where we happen to have lots of data. At the top, you'll see a variety of different options here where I could say, just show me the pins that have opportunities or just the ones that have cases. Back to all, that's fine. Over here in the top right, I have my user settings where I could say, well, do I want to be a miles or kilometers person? And what are my default fines and zones? There's quite a few settings in here. I could look for a particular company by typing out the name right here, Metropolitan Museum of Art. So that's looking for the different companies that we're displaying on the map and going right into that record. Another filtering option we have exists over in the top left-hand corner. where we can use any of our CRM fields and they can be changed to filter the data. So if I wanted to see data by account manager, or if I wanted to see companies that had maybe over a certain dollar value, maybe over $100,000 worth of sales, I can filter the data. You'll notice that some of the records are green. So in the case of the account managers, right now, there's data that displays on the map for Dan, CA, Fred, John, and Simon. But if I were to zoom in, you will see that now there's only 4 of the people. Let's go a little closer. Now only data for CA and John displays. So it's a very dynamic and responsive system. And again, we can change any of the filters or use them in tandem. Just show me John's accounts with over $100,000 in sales, that type of thing. I mentioned that you can bring data from Google Maps right into Sage CRM. And how we do that is this guy right up here. So if I typed in pet food, so it's based on the map that I'm looking at or the geography that I'm looking at. If I refresh that, all these pet food stores will come up and they'll very quickly start mapping on my screen. If I tick these boxes over here, I now have the ability to add PetSmart as a company in CRM type prospect or as a lead. Or if I tick this box right here, I could create all of them as companies or leads inside of Sage CRM. This solution also has an optional route planning module where you can, as you would expect, schedule your trips. Who are you going to see, how long are you going to stay, and so forth. I've just brought up an example from one of my saved routes. You can save these, clone them, modify them. It's what you would expect, and these create communication records within Sage CRM. That was a lot of information in 12 minutes, but again, a lot of it's found under our website. If you go to My CRM Manager and you go to the Sage 100 page, you'll find it all here, or also on the Google Maps page, including pricing, videos, and so forth. If you'd like to schedule a call to do a personalized demonstration, you're more than welcome to. Good luck, and thanks for watching.